Hello, hello. My name is Aspasia. This is my bookish channel, asparagusisreading, where I talk about books, but sometimes other things. Today we're going to be starting a reading vlog. So, I'm going to be very honest. I don't know how to reading. I am going to be on spring break starting tomorrow at like 4 or 5 p.m. And then that lasts until like Monday, 9 a.m., I believe. So I'm really hoping to get a lot of reading done. Like, I've gotten a lot of my assignments done early to prepare for this spring break. Like, I am ready to be on a break. Hello, I'm back. I'm doing a quick little like unboxing because I had submitted my pre-order receipt for an item, and so I've just received the stuff that goes with it. And I came right now because we are watching Love is Blind Brazil on Netflix, and there's currently some very sexist, anti-feminism, anti-women. Women are the weaker sex. Women are weak. Women are terrible. Women are SLUTs conversation going on right now, and I just had to walk away. I said, oh no. No. We're not gonna sit here and trash women and you turn around and do the same thing. But just because you a man, it's different. You don't know. No. It's a no for me. Alright, so let me get the book. So Raquel Marie, aka Bomb with the Book, came out with her debut novel, which is like a YA contemporary novel with themes of romance and friendship and finding yourself and things like that. And I read it last month and gave it 5 stars. And I got 2 copies. This one is the one I'm gonna put the book plate in, because the other one is signed and personalized by her. So this one put the book plate in. I did already annotate this copy. I just need to annotate the other copy. So we're gonna put this in. Then I got a bookmark. This is the second one. I think I have 2 of these now. It's like a little, you know, like those pictures you go from like prom or like those little photo booths. This is them, all the characters in their prom outfits, and they're feeling at the bottom with the book cover, and then the real book cover right there. Also, got some COVID tests in the mail, because USPS was doing this thing where like each household could get 4 tests, and I was like, say less, I'm ordering them. And so they just came in today. So I'm gonna store those for later, and then, you know, just in case I ever need them, we'll have them. Hopefully I won't, but just in case. Alright, so there's a cat right there that just, oh no. It walked across the yard, but now it's over there. Yeah, good morning. Today is Friday, the 25th, my last day before spring break. I'm supposed to be getting ready and reviewing my notes because I have a test for geography today, and I really can't concentrate. So basically what's happening right now, as of this point, there's been a lot of going on with Ukraine and Russia and other countries right now. Long story short, Russia has started bombing and attacking and invading Ukraine. I would say starting like Wednesday. I mean, they've been in Ukraine for I think a couple weeks, couple months now, maybe even years. But like now they're like really like bombing and attacking and doing all of this, and I'm just like, we're really watching. Well, not really watching. I would say maybe like getting updates, seeing this happen live. Like this is happening. Like every time I open Twitter, there's a new update. My geography professor sends out a new email, a new announcement. I'm just like, what is going on? Like this is just all because of what Putin wants some land and control over the Crimean Peninsula and Ukraine. He doesn't want Ukraine to be with NATO, something along those lines. Like, I don't know how I feel. And then I saw that the Ukrainian president is being targeted by Russia and the army, and so they're basically hunting this man down. And I'm like, if they get the president, then what? What happens next? Like, is that it? Or is other countries gonna jump in? I'm just like, what is happening? 45 seconds later, I'm popping in to talk about something else. So in Texas, I believe it's only Texas at this point, so trans rights have basically just gone to trash. If I understood what I was reading correctly, it seems like the leader of Texas is called, has decided to basically make trans things illegal, dangerous, a crime. So basically, if you're a teacher and you see a trans person, they're supposed to report it. If a parent has allowed their child to transition, they can get reported and get in trouble for abuse. Like I medical facilities can't, like, oh my gosh, like the it's not even funny. I'm just uncomfortable when I'm laughing. The way, the state that the world is in right now is just, like, I don't even have words. I really don't. Like, this is just crazy. We're still partially in a pandemic, you know. We're trying to get back to normal. We're fighting Omicron of the COVID. We got a war going on. We've got countries and states removing decent, normal, basic human rights. People are dying left and right for, war or racism or sick or whatever. Shoes are being shot up every other day. Did I say shoes? Did I say schools? I don't remember what I said. I'm just, like, I don't even like opening Twitter or going to the news because, like, every day I'm just like, wow, this is just, and it's like, where it's just normal, you're supposed to just go to school, go to work like it's nothing, I don't know. I think I'm just in a really weird headspace. Yeah, anyways, that's really all I had to say. Hello everyone, it is February 27th at like 9:45 in the morning. I'm sitting by my window, it has the best lighting. Also, there's a lot of noise going like right outside my bedroom door. I'm officially on spring break. It started Friday at like 5-6 p.m. Friday night, I got home from classes. We ran a bunch of errands, did a little bit of shopping, came home, I watched some movies, passed out, went to sleep. Saturday, I don't know if it was because of the realization I was on spring break or I was just exhausted, but I was sleeping basically all day on Saturday. I woke up, I read a little bit, went back to sleep, woke up, watched some YouTube, went back to sleep, just on and off sleeping all day Saturday. Now it's Sunday. I'm trying to do some schoolwork, and did I mention this? I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I got a second laptop, like a new one, to replace the one that I have. And as of right now, I'm using both until I transition fully into the new one. So for now, like, I have my essay pulled up on one and I have my articles to the other one. They have both decided to update right now, which is weird because I have both of them set to update at night, so like when I'm asleep. but they're both updating right now. So I was really hoping to spend the day to kind of get some progress in some assignments, so at least I have some stuff done, and then I can have a couple days to like wash my hair and read some books and do some YouTube and hang out, and then get back to do kind of like on and off. So I'm not spending the whole spring break doing schoolwork, but they're both updating right now. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. So I started doing some reading, and I have some sweet potatoes in the oven cooking to soften. I think I'm gonna try to make sweet potato waffles. Hopefully that goes out good. Yes, I've been reading. I've mainly been reading Kindle Unlimited books by Maggie Cole. It's her Mafia War series, I think that's what it's called. I think half of the books follow the Ivanov brothers and the other half follow the O'Malley brothers. I don't remember, I think I got this book because of a recommendation from Ava's Romance Books, and I started to continue the series because I was interested in other siblings and their relationships. If most romance books series I notice follows either the best friend or the brother or the cousin of someone, so you often see those same characters pop up again and again in each book, but each book follows a certain couple. So the first 5 follow the Ivanov brothers / cousins. I think some of them are cousins, and then there's the O'Malleys. I am on my 3rd or 4th book in the series right now because I'm not reading all of them. I only just want the ones that I'm interested in. I'm noticing that all the books basically follow the same plot line. The characters are basically the exact same. Like, I feel like she just copy and pasted for 10 books and just changed their names and some of their interests and some of their their physical characteristics. It's just the same plot over and over and over and over, and the same characters, literally same characters, different font, same story, different font. Like, copy my homework, but make sure the teacher can't tell you copy my homework. So boring. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just feeling really frustrated in terms of reading because I feel like I've been reading a lot. Like, I've read over some 40-something books this year, and I just feel like every book I've read is just 2 to 3 stars. Like, I just I'm just like, what is this? So I'm at my mom's physical therapy office. I've decided to wait in the car because it's very busy in there, and I thought I'd rather spend my time reading. I mean, I read in there anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but I decided to stay in the car and read because I'm working on a midterm for one of my classes, and I need to get some quotes for it, so I thought, why not read Narnia book 2 and then book 7. I think that's the other one we're supposed to use. So I'm about 86 pages in, enjoying it so far. You could tell it was written in the 1900s because, like, there's one sentence where it was like, oh gosh, let me see if I can find it really quick. I just read it. Meanwhile, the girls are helping Miss Beaver to fill the kettle and lay the table and cut the bread and put the plates in the oven to heat and draw a huge jug of beer for Mr. Beaver from a bear which stood in the corner of the house and to put the frying pan and get the dripping hot. And then that is a lot. Which is kind of funny because I feel like a lot of books now it's like, and then I did this, and then I walked, and then I said, and then she said, and he said, and then I, and next we, and I got dressed. I put my, it just feels weird because, like, we have this a lot, and then back then it was, and then in one sentence. So yeah, I'm reading it, enjoying it so far. I only found like 7 or 8 quotes I can use. I'm not going to use all of them, but, you know, there are options. I've also recently joined Ava's Romance Books channel membership, my first ever channel membership. And I've been enjoying it so far. I have been trying to catch up on all those past vlogs and videos. I think she's been doing channel memberships since summer last year, I think. And so I've been trying to catch up on all those channel only videos, and I've been having a great time over there. hopefully this stays standing. I'm literally sitting down, minding my own business, watching some YouTube, and I was like, it's March 1st. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Typically Wednesday is my uploading day. And I had planned for tomorrow to be my March bullet journaling video. This is all I've done. I had a completely different theme idea and it came out trash. I ended up having to glue those pages together because they were bad. So I saw this idea with like line art. Listen, line art can get it. Line art is so pretty. I love it. Especially when it's like one line where they don't pick up the pen, or at least they try not to pick up the pen as much. Love it. So yeah, so I am working on getting this done today. And then, oops, wrong page. And then I'm gonna film the video and get that up for tomorrow. I am currently working on my English midterm. It's the one where I am talking about what I believe is the reasoning behind C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien's continuous popularity. It's supposed to be 3 pages. I'm probably going to be about 4.5. Maybe 5. Depends on how many sentences I end up adding. So that's happening. I'm hoping to get that done today. Oh, what time is it? Okay. I have some Spanish tutoring later. To be quite honest, I'm about to cancel. I do not want to go. I don't want to do anything. So while we were out today and yesterday, I have been reading. Y'all can't even see that. I have like 3 bookmarks in Lord of the Rings. I have 1 in Chronicles of Narnia Book 2, Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe. I have a bunch of tabs. You can't see it because of the light, but there's like a bunch of green tabs for me to like go to make quotes and citations from my article. My essay. So I've been doing that. At Walmart, I got myself. I thought someone was gonna fall out. I got this purse. It was on clearance. It was originally like $17, and I got it for $9. So cute. Reading. So like it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I used my Kindle Limited subscription and downloaded. I'll put it over here. Dark Fiber Ruby Dixon, which is book 10 in the Fireblood Dragon series. The series is a adult romance series where each book is like 200, 300-ish pages. I am 80% through The Charm Offensive by Alison Corcoran. I'm loving this. However, I'm very confused because the characters are adults, established adults. I would say late 20s, early 30s, right? But there are multiple times where I'm reading this and I'm like, am I reading in the mind of a child? Not a child, excuse me, of a teenager or like my age? Because there's times where they talk to each other and I just feel like the way they talk to each other and the way they act in certain moments feels a lot younger than what they're supposed to be. And so, like, I don't know. Because, like, if you were to cut out the sex scenes and some parts or, like, change some of this would be 100% YA. Like, I would totally believe it. But because it is written the way that it is and it has sex scenes and things like that, it's an adult book. I don't know. I'm just struggling. Because, like, when I read, in my brain, I automatically age everyone up to, like, 27, 35, 38. Anything younger than that, especially romances, because it's just, like, the closer to 18 they are, I'm like, So, I don't know, it's just my reading experience is very confused. So that's been happening. I don't know how well you can see me because of the lighting, but I'm currently very upset because my bullet journal just split. Like, you can see the spine thing here, which has never happened before. Like, I've had 3-4 bullet journals, I think each of them from different brands. It's the first time it has ever split. And so I don't know if that is like a common thing with this brand, or maybe I was just too rough with this, but she split. And we're literally, this paper keeps falling out. We're literally in March. Y'all, how am I gonna bullet journal the rest of the year? I tried to hot glue it, it didn't work. Tried to do it again, it didn't work. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Please ignore My hair, I'm very slowly trying to comb through it before I wash it. I just, I have so much hair. It doesn't look like it in like how I style my hair, but like if it was straightened and properly combed out, it's long. And it's just so thick and so time consuming, and it's just I'm literally sitting on the floor trying to do this. I didn't want to get hair over my bed and have to like brush it out of my bed. My butt has gone completely numb at this point. But I'm having a great time because I'm currently reading this book that I randomly found. So I was reading some Ruby Dixon backlist, right? The book series, novella, what you want to call it, was absolute trash. Her newer books are much better. And then she has made a comment about how she was inspired by a different author. And so I was like just snooping on, Kindle Limited. And then this book about orcs was recommended. And I'm like, all I saw in the title is a librarian and the orc. And I said, librarian? And it's not even book one. It's like book 4 out of 6 or something like that. Maybe book 5 out of 6. I don't even know. This book is getting 5 stars. It is a fantasy. It is a romance. There's drama. There's tension. There's a lot of side character relationships and growth. They have backstories. Like, they actually have backstories. There's LGBT characters. Listen, there is just... There's plot. Okay? It's not like I would say the book is very like 50-50 of plot and romance. The angst. Listen, I came into this book expecting a not wonderful book and probably a whole lot of, you know, couples going at it, and which does happen. But it like I'm literally sitting here and I'm losing my mind over the side characters right now. The side characters. Like there's some characters that I'm like rooting for certain things, and things are happening, and I'm like, please, please. Like I'm enjoying basically every character except one. There's like one villain I could care less about him, but every other character, tell me more. Tell me more. Who's this? Like there's one person that was introduced for like 1 page just because he talked about like their relationship to someone else, and I'm like, tell me more. What's their job? What they look like? What's their hair color? What they do last week? There's drama and tea. Like there was one chapter where they were having a bit of an argument, and it was just tea, shots fired back and forth. I said, oh, he did. Oh, she did. I said, oh, you can't talk because according to this dude, you did that. Oh, snap. Okay. This book is getting 5 stars. I have downloaded the rest of the series because I'm really excited because this, right here, elite. And I love how, like, the other day, I was talking about I read like 40-50 books this year, and most of them I would give 2 to 3 stars. And then this happened. Listen. Oh, yeah, I did a little bit of reading. And my March TBR, it's gonna be a really interesting March because we have finals next month, right? And I made my TBR basically Libby based because I have a lot of Libby books coming in. But my Kindle Unlimited subscription ends in April, and I have some KU books to read. But also, I have found a lot of KU recommendations in the past like week and a half. And so I am basically going back and forth between KU and Libby, and I'm like, I'm about to have like a 50 book wrap up at the end of the month. Like, these books are, and it's not even like none of the books are like, it's just like, oh gosh, what are words? All the books are really good. Like, I feel like I've picked out some really good books on both ends, and I'm really excited to read them, and I've been like zooming through them. So I'm very curious to see like how this works out. I'm gonna have to do a little more reading on Libby and this because the due date for those is very different to KU, so we need to work on that. What else happened? I'm trying to remember. Oh, I woke up this morning and I had a bunch of notifications through YouTube Studio, and I said, spam alert. And I'm pretty sure I didn't upload a video for Saturday. I know I did last week, but not today. Pretty sure I didn't. What's happening? And so I went in, and my subscriber count jumped up like 10, 15, I think. And I said, what did I upload? What did I do? And it turns out that video that I uploaded Wednesday, which is like a March bullet journal short, where I just kind of just show you my spreads and flip through, which is actually really funny because I ended up going through and editing it and adding more spreads and doing stuff to it. So I probably should have refilmed the video, but like I was lazy. And it has like almost 4,000 views right now. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? So maybe I need to do more videos with shorts? I don't know. I was just very surprised by this. Or not shorts, Bujo spreads. Like, I was just very shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. This is new. I don't think I've ever had a video hit thousands. I know I've had a couple hundred, like 700, 800. I don't think I ever hit thousands. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Alright, well, good to know for the future, right? So that's happening. And I had a couple comments. I couldn't see some of them because YouTube kept saying I have 5 comments, but only showed 1. And so every time I went to like held for review and etc., etc., it only showed the 1. So I don't really know what's happening there because clearly YouTube recognizes that there was more than 1 comment made, but it's not displaying each comment. You know what I mean? Okay, I just remembered the other thing. You're on my plant stand right now. So the other day, my mom's friend had messaged the group chat. Like, she has a bunch of friends who like do plant stuff, and they message in the group chat. And she was like, yeah, I just went into Dollar Tree at this location. We have a bunch of them in our area. And I smelled mice. And she's had mice like in her past, so she knows what it smells like. And she was like, I don't like that. And so she was kind of just walking around, and she happened to look down at the bottom shelf of one of the things she's at, and she saw mice running across. And she said, oh no, thank you. She put everything back, walked out the store. She returned all her stuff from the store next door, because you know mice might be over there too. Washed all her hands, washed a bit out of her car, and then left. And I was like, oh, interesting, because every time that I go, I said Dollar Tree, right? Every time I go to Dollar Tree, Dollar General, I've always noticed, like, there's always going to be something that's expired. The boxes are kind of a little beat up, there's always a little smell. Also, they tend to be very, like, jam-packed in my area. I don't know if it's because they just get a lot of stuff or they just don't organize. And I'm like, you know, this could very easily, like, something could be in here and hiding, you know what I mean? And it's also not always clean. Like, sometimes it'll be dusty. And I'm like, y'all bringing this in right now? Okay. Yeah, and so my mom just sent a screenshot to the group chat. Basically saying Dollar Tree and Dollar General, I believe, or is it Family Dollar? I don't know if all 3 are just like 2. Maybe it's just 1 and I'm like confused. Has decided to recall a bunch of its items, and some locations are closing due to rodent exposure. And I was like, yeah. I didn't read the full post because I just thought it was kind of funny how coincidental that happened, because the post seemed kind of like an everywhere thing and not like just our area kind of thing. But so if you have a Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, I highly suggest checking to see what's going on there. Hello, so I'm back home now. It's Saturday at like 1:45, 1:50 p.m. I think, March 5th. So I go back to school Monday the 7th, and then I also register for summer classes the 7th. And my room's kind of a hot mess from this spring break, so I made myself a little to-do list to do between today and tomorrow. Reading wise, my plan for March was to read a ton of Libby books. That is still the plan, but I have since downloaded like 10 Kindle Limited books, and I'm really enjoying myself. Like, I'm just shocked because I went from like being like whoa about books in my reading this year to just enjoying a lot of what I've been reading. So I think on my to-do list, I am going to try to finish 1 or 2 Kindle Limited books. I tend to flag those very quickly because they're romances. I'm going to try to read both of my graphic novels that I have from Libby, and then maybe start an audiobook while I'm cleaning. It's a lot of reading, but I think I can get those done. I mean, that's what, 4.5 books in 2 days, which are all fairly short, so I think I can do it.
What was revealed felt very like throughout the book. And like, don't get me wrong, aspects of it were, but it was just like not.
You can see I've started reorganizing my bookshelf because the way it looked was starting to annoy me. So I'm trying to reorganize and also put a lot of my like accessory stuff back on it, so like mugs, cards, etc. And I have just unhauled 3 more books because I have them on Libby, and I know for a fact I'm not going to love them enough to keep them. I might give them 4 or 5 stars and I enjoy them, but I don't think I'm going to love them enough to keep them. And I feel like that is also part of the reason why I don't like my shelves, because I've taken off so many books. The way it looks doesn't look right anymore. So I'm currently in the process of reorganizing. So as you saw, I finished organizing my bookshelf, and I did put like all the pops and accessories and bookmarks there. I'm still not happy with it. I don't know, like, I think it's because I have so many spaces, I don't really know what to do. And in the places that I want to like display the books properly and do things with, it feels uneven in comparison to other sections of the bookshelf. So I do like how it kind of looks right now with the accessories, like how I was able to get the little cards and the pops and the mugs and everything in there. I did try to color coordinate things to each other. Didn't always work. For example, can I turn this? The top shelf is, you know, reds to yellows to greens, matches the book. However, this shelf, I put all of my Beauty and the Beast related together because I kind of wanted them together. But I did coordinate the blue tone of the books to go with the bookmarks. And then down here, kind of color coordinated. He has purples and pinks and stuff. Her red and blue makes purple. She's kind of neutral, so I kind of just stuck her there, but I kind of liked how these two kind of go with all of the things that I have here. You know, hey girl, you look good. They're both girls. They both traveled in their stories, talking about how she's enough. And then I have a lot of like purplish themed bookmarks here. And down here's a lot of whites and creams, and then over here's like black spines. But I've read pretty much every book on this shelf, so it's all very white. So I kind of put a bunch of neutral pops I didn't really know what to do with. In here, I have some bookmarks. This is from Fake Crate when they had a sale like last year. Then we have this that says Write Your Own Stories. So it kind of gives like a little pop of color on this shelf. Then down here, we have the rest of my black spines. He's here because, you know, they all kind of color coordinate. There's a lot of black and gray and white, silver and red. So they all kind of match, except that. That kind of just goes with that little bit of blue that comes out on the spines. And then down here is kind of my textbook shelf for school. I am an English major with a concentration in creative writing, but I have dabbled a little bit in like psychology and Spanish minor, and I have done a little bit with women gender studies, you know, gender, feminism. I have dabbled in those 3, so I have a lot of books down here. And then I have all my, what is this? Not Avatar. What are they called? Attack on Titan pops right here. So like I said, I have bookmarks in this case in these 2 mugs. And then I have some extra bookmarks here that I'm going to put over here. This is my little nightstand. Please ignore the paint job. I didn't do it properly. And so whenever I'm in bed, I just don't feel like getting up. I can just reach, slide this out, and grab a bookmark. So literally in my pajamas in scarf right now, and I don't even care because I'm annoyed and I want to discuss something. Okay, so I think I talked about this earlier at some point about whatever. Cora Riley, right? So Cora Riley is was writing this book, and we'll discuss that in a second. So Cora Riley was writing this book. They're a romance author, and the main female character is in a wheelchair because of results of injuries from a serious car accident. And it's supposed to be romance with some guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So when I first read that description, I was taken aback because I felt like some of the wording was hurtful. And I felt like, ooh, I don't know if I really like how that's being described. Right? And I was like, okay, I'm not someone within those communities. Let me not jump any conclusions. But I saw from stories and posts all over Instagram, not so much Twitter, that those people were very upset because they felt like those words that were being used were hurtful and triggering and offensive, and I think there were some other words used to describe what Cora Riley had said, right? So, in the way those comments were being made, it was given as advice, as constructive criticism, as help. Like, hey, this story is great. I'm really excited to read it. Love that you're including this representation and, giving us voices. But could you please change these words to something a little bit more acceptable? Is that the right word? More, not something so harsh, so harmful, right? And I felt like everyone who was asking that did it in a very polite manner, and they were like, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah." Even some authors were jumping in and giving suggestions of how to rewrite the blurb of the story, right? Because you could still deliver this kind of story, but do it in a way that does not hurt the readers as they're reading it. And so people were giving advice, authors were giving examples of blurbs, um, readers were giving alternate terms, and things like that. So, next thing I know, the post is deleted. Or, no, before that, Cora Riley is responding to comments. And I'm really glad I started to screenshot some of these things because the post is not deleted. From my understanding of her comments, Cora Riley was basically like, oh, the main character, I think her name's Emma or something, lives in this world. It's a book, so it's fiction. This mafia world where things are different and life is harsh and hard, and she faces these battles and blah blah blah. And that's her reality. And that's what she's supposed to do with, like, boo hoo, boo her. That's what she has to do with. Okay, great. Can we not say these words? It just felt like, oh, because it's a mafia fiction world that I created, this is how she's supposed to be treated. This is how it's to go. Okay, like, great. That could still be portrayed without being, you know? So the next thing I know, the post is deleted. There is no official response or apology. The post is just deleted. I was like, oh, this is what we doing. Okay. So at this point, when I saw that it was deleted, a couple of YouTubers were posting like disability and chronic illness representation recommendations and kind of just having a conversation about it, talking about how they felt and, talking about ways to obviously help the author write the story a little bit better. Then we get the I'm on a social media break. Something I've noticed a lot within the online community, when people get canceled, and some of them are actually canceled, and some of them are like this situation are giving advice, they often go on a social media break when they are overwhelmed with the engagement that they're getting and can't handle it or whatever, right? When I saw that, I automatically knew whatever caption she had on this post was not going to go well, and I had to mentally prepare myself because I just knew. The caption that she has, which continues on into the comments, I'm not going to put any screenshots. If you want to go look for it, you can go look for it yourself. But the caption in the comments that she gave for this was the most utter crap I've ever read. Like, there's not a lick of an apology. Like, not even a genuine apology. No. It feels like excuse top of excuse, and almost like putting the blame of why she canceled the book on those people who were giving suggestions, recommendations on how to properly talk about people with disabilities and chronic illness. Putting the blame on them and attacking them, basically calling them bullies for what they did. And I said, wait a minute. That's not what we said. That's not what we were trying to go there. And then she had some nerve to try to say, oh, this is what I was trying to say. No, ma'am, because in your description, word for word, this is what you said. One of the things I'm referencing here are from the comment section of the post that she made and from other people who are analyzing her post in the whole situation. But from the time that I made this clip until now, she as in the author, has since blocked comments on multiple of her posts. So some of those things I'm referencing, you can no longer see unless you had screenshotted it beforehand. Oh man, and it just kept going and just kept going. And they're talking about, oh, it's a huge financial risk. Somewhere in the lines of this whole mess, people, all they heard was, I'm not going to read this book because of what you did. Right? Some people did say that. But the majority of people who said they're not going to read her book was because of how she responded to people giving her advice. I was going to read the book because I was like, oh, yes, representation. But then the way she kept responding to people and the way she was kind of just like, meh, I said, oh, never mind. That's why I didn't want to read the book. And that's why other people made a choice not to read the book, because they felt like she was not listening to the people she should have been listening to. All of a sudden, it's, oh, they didn't want to read my book, it's a financial risk, they didn't want to read my book, blah, 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 blah. I didn't read the whole caption, whatever, because I was getting really annoyed, because everything that's being said was not what happened. So then, all of a sudden, the post has over 1,000 comments. And I'm like, where were y'all yesterday? Because I know her post did not have that many comments on the original post. Maybe I missed it. Almost every single comment is, oh my gosh, I can't believe they canceled you and bullied you to cancel the book. Bring the book back. That's not what happened. If they can't handle the book and they can't read this kind of content, then maybe they shouldn't read it. It's not that hard. What the fuck? Did y'all miss the whole conversation that we were trying to have? The intent and the point of these readers commenting on the original post was to tell you to change your word choice to make it more appropriate and less harmful for those that have disabilities and chronic illness. Yes, some people who have a disability or chronic illness were fine with it, and that is great. But if the vast majority are telling you, that don't sound right, you would think, be like, oh, I apologize, you're right. I'm definitely seeing some concerns with my words. I'm going to go back with my editors, and look over this book, and maybe talk to a few of you privately and get this changed. No, that's not what we got. So now, YouTubers are being attacked for giving this advice and criticism, or constructive criticism, right? They're being attacked and bullied. People are harassing them in the comments and on their post. And then on Corey Riley's post, overwhelming support and talking smack about readers and how they're not real readers and not real reviewers. Talking about how if we can't handle books with representation and disabilities, maybe we shouldn't be reading them at all, or maybe we don't know what a real disability is. I am just, all that we asked for, okay, all that they asked for, I'm going to take myself out of this because again, I'm not someone with disability or chronic illness. All that they have asked for was to change your words. They didn't say cancel the book. They didn't say disappear off the internet. They didn't say blame them, because now you are silencing their voices by ignoring what they asked. You're now getting rid of another book representation that they could have been in, right? You're getting rid of that book. And now you're sending your people, indirectly sending your fans, to attack them. Ooh, man. Like, I just... You know when you're so angry? Like, you just start laughing or crying because you're just so angry? I had a headache this morning because I was just like... I don't understand. I don't understand it. Like, how do we go from A plus B equals XYZ, 2 plus 2 equals 7? That is not... I was like, oh, okay. Just the way that Cora Riley responded, the initial post, turned me off. And then this, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I haven't blocked her on anything yet just because I want to see what else happens in the future. Maybe something magical happens, but as of right now, absolutely not. I will not be reading a book. I don't want to hear about her. No. Wow. I'm just getting so annoyed, more and more annoyed with authors over the past couple, 2 years now? Like, are you serious? I know y'all are human. I know y'all have feelings. I know that it's hard to hear from people that your work may not be what you believe it to be. But, like, readers don't do this to hurt you personally. They do this to help you better your writing, better your reading experience, and also, it's a better outcome in the future. We got reviewers attacking, not reviewers, authors attacking reviewers. We got authors harassing people. Man, since we're on this topic, let's talk about some other authors. Okay, so we have one, what is it, her name? CJ something. So, right, I'm getting annoyed. So, they had a book that came out, and as far as I'm aware, they wrote this book within a week. From beginning to finish and edits within a week. Props to you, that's great. You write incredibly fast. Wonderful, because that book is thick. But I was concerned because how well written is this book? People read the book, and they said it was good. People were really interested and enjoyed this book. But they brought up the fact that there was a lot of errors, and they felt like the book could have benefited from more time for edits. Somewhere along the lines, so they're attacking reviewers. And I'm like, what? Did you not understand? They like the book. They just think you need more time to make edits. So if you could possibly, in your future, with the next book, give yourself more time to edit. No. Instead of accepting that, they attack people. I'm pretty sure the review was like 4.5, 5 stars, right? But I guess that's not good enough. Popping in again, as far as I know of, this author, Piper CJ, has apologized multiple times and has taken a social media break and has made another apology video, a much more, I think, in-depth apology video than the first one, and that has been repeatedly taken down because people keep reporting it. Then, there's another author, oh gosh, I cannot remember her name, she's on Instagram. This is my friend, I'm not going to give her name because I know she wants to be talked about. She had DM'd me and talked about some reviews. And we just kind of had a conversation. And then she just happened to bring up this author. She's like, oh, I recently read a book by this person, but I didn't really like it. I'm not really sure if I should post about it. And I was like, I'm interested to see what you say. And I feel like it would be nice for your Instagram followers to see that, like, there are some books you may not like. Showing both sides, not just only the good stuff, right? So she posted a thing. And I was, okay, the book... I'll put the cover here. I cannot remember the name of the book. Basically, the main character girl has anxiety, I believe, and the main male character is a toxic piece of trash, and he gets tired and annoyed of her anxiety, and does some things, and I believe, according to her and other reviewers, I've seen other reviews, he drugs the girl, because he's tired of her anxiety, he just wants her to, be quiet and stop. I'll be damned. If you... Out of your mind. Absolutely not. And so, at that point, I was like, okay, I know it was an arc. Okay, so, if this reviewer and other reviewers are saying these things, like, okay, hey, maybe this might not be a great idea for anxiety representation, you would think the author would take this criticism and edit it before the book comes out, right? All of a sudden, my friend's post, right, is getting all this hate comments, and she's getting attacked and talked about. Like, it was silence. Like, her followers, are seeing the post, right? And then all of a sudden, all these random people from nowhere are commenting, posting, and DMing her. So, me and her went snooping, because we're like, what is happening? No one shared the post, according to, analytics. No one bookmarked the post. I think maybe like 1 or 2 people, whatever. A good chunk of the people that were making those comments towards her and her review, talking about how she's not a good reviewer and she didn't read the book properly, blah, 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 follow the author. So it's like, who sent you here? And how did you find out about this review? Somewhere along the lines, one of y'all was like, oh, haha. And then the whole little groupie decided to follow. It wasn't even a bad review. She was just talking about how she read the book. She was uncomfortable and didn't enjoy it because she felt like the male character and the portrayal of the girl's anxiety was not good. She said the writing was interesting and she was intrigued, just maybe change the representation and the portrayal of the anxiety. That was it. I am in the process of editing this vlog, and I wanted to come on here and give an update about things related to Cora Riley. Cora Riley has since posted a new post on Instagram. In this post, from my perspective, feels more like an acknowledgement of the issue and what people with disabilities or chronic illness were saying, and not necessarily an apology for anything that happened. Core Riley basically says that, like, oh, I received your messages and your feedback and your comments and your love and support. In time, that could be a couple weeks, couple months to years from now, she will likely visit this book and work on making some edits for it to make it better for readers, make it, less harmful with the language that was used. She'll be talking to multiple sensitivity readers, including some of those that reach out to her. I believe she's going to be changing the cover and the description / blurb of the book. I think that was pretty much it. Basically just saying that, like, okay, I hear you. I am now going to, whenever she gets to it, she is going to make those changes and go through that process as she should before she officially publishes it, so that may take some time. Personally, it's nice to hear that, what we were, I keep saying we, what the people with disabilities and chronic illnesses were asking for and looking for when they first initially commented on that first post. Like, that's what they were wanting. It just feels a little weird, leaves a little sour taste in my mouth because it took all of that to get here. It wasn't that wasn't the immediate response, the immediate thought of hers that took all of this to get there. So, I don't know how I feel. Again, I guess it's not really my place to say or feel much just because I'm not someone with a chronic illness or disability. I am hoping that she does continue to write this book, that she does it in a way that properly represents them and that they enjoy and that they support and like, and then they can then recommend to other people who are looking for that type of representation. And yeah, so I've reached the end of this vlog. After that last clip of me talking, haven't really vlogged anything because I got busy, plus I think at that point it was Monday. I believe that same day we went out to go get some gas for the van, because we have a van. And we know the prices are going up, right? But we didn't realize, like, how much, because we ended up spending, I think, like $75, $76 to fill up our van, and we were just like, oh my gosh. So I tried to put a clip of, like, the total over there because that was crazy. And then I was home and I saw this giant spider. I'd like to know who thought creating bugs that big. Obviously, we're far away. Why is it so big?
How big was it?
It's right there. It's like 2/4. That thing. Why is it so big? In the clip, it doesn't look that big, but like in real life, I swear, like, if you had a chapstick, you know the size. Like, this is about the size that I would compare to it. Since then, I have subscribed to Ava's Romance Books channel membership and loving it. I believe today she posted like 4 videos from members only because they're like early access. About to binge those. Speaking of Ava, I wanted to come in here and discuss some bookmarks I got from her. Yes, I have a tripod. No, I don't use it. So the most recent ones that I have received. Oh wait, I'm missing some. Where is she? I got. I'm still missing one. What was the other one that I got? Or is this it? I think this is it. Okay. So I got 3 bookmarks from her. And the first one is for her Chronically Courageous campaign, which is basically a thing that she created after having some serious recent episodes with her chronic illness. And so she created this little design which says Chronically Courageous in black, and it's in this like circle floral design in this very light purple. She did have some like other items come out on like Bonfire, which was like different tops, so t-shirt, sweater, hoodie, etc. And then a mug. I ordered a crew neck sweatshirt. That won't be here until like April, I think. Beautiful bookmark. I got a crew neck sweater that's coming in mail. Should be coming here in April. Next bookmark I got is like a bookshelf. And it has a bunch of different popular book tropes in different colors. So we have enemies to lovers, forced proximity, fated mates, second chance, friends to lovers, age gap, fake dating, forbidden romance, single parent, grumpy sunshine, etc. And then we have some that I got in the past. These are her watercolor bookmarks, the ones that she will like do herself. And so this one, it's kind of like an extra one that she gave to me. This one just has a blue watercolor, and then she just did like black hearts. And the next one is basically the same design, but except in the middle, because I believe it's because I'm a channel member. She drew this design in the middle because it looks like the channel member design, but I'm not entirely sure. And then these last two, I actually have one more. Don't know where I put it. Honestly, it might be in a book because I've been using her bookmarks. But this one is Take Me to Not Hoth. So if you have read any of Ruby Dixon's books, which is one of Ava's most beloved and favorite authors, there is a place called Not Hoth, which is in the Ice Planet Barbarians, and a couple other series books. And so Take Me to Not Hoth to be there with those men who treat their women like queens. Like, when I mean they treat their women well, they do. However, I will say in some of those books, some of those stories don't go very well with some of them kind of kidnap the girls because in their head, they're thinking, ooh, mate, but they don't, they learn. You have to read to understand, but they learn that they made mistakes and did wrong. So here's this bookmark. Kind of goes from like a blue to like a silvery gray, little glitter. And then this last one is actually a personalized one because you can order one with your name on it. And so this one I got goes from purple to blue and has my bookish name, asparagusisreading, on it in her beautiful handwriting. Like this handwriting, wow. And I'm watching some of her vlogs when she does it in her vlogs, and I'm like, how did you do that? And so this is the other bookmark. And the last bookmark I have, since I can't find it, I'll just put a picture over here. This one is one of my favorite quotes from Love in the Wild by Emma Castle. That book is a Tarzan retelling that Ava and I buddy read together last year and absolutely loved. And so, yeah. If you're interested in checking out any of Ava's items, check out her Etsy shop. She'll link down below. And I'm blanking. If you want to check out her channel membership, which has like channel, I can't even speak. I need to go to bed. Channel membership only vlogs, early access to other videos, live updates, and things like that. Link down below. I am about to turn in an essay. Well, let me take that back. I'll probably turn it in tomorrow because tonight I'm doing a lot more citations and like just last minute edits. I'll probably turn it tomorrow. Reading wise, I think I'm going to go ahead and DNF that book that I was talking about earlier, Drive Me Crazy, the one with the male character did the drug the girl or whatever. I read like 5% and I'm absolutely bored. But also I feel like my experience of the book is influenced by the reviews, and so I'm having a hard time trying to enjoy it for my own self. So I think I'm just going to end up DNFing and moving on. I did finish Don't Cry For Me by Daniel Black. I would give this, honestly, I'm not really sure how much just rating. It is a good book. I do like the writing. However, it is hard to enjoy because the main character is not an enjoyable character. And some of the other characters are not enjoyable characters. They're not likable. The main character, the father, who's the narrator, he's absolute garbage. Like, he treats every human being like they're beneath him, and it's honestly, it's awful. Oh, excuse me. I would say trigger warnings for, I want to say sexual assault, homophobia. I believe there's discussion of abortion, child or domestic abuse, racism, alcoholism. I think discussion of slavery between characters. I think that's it from the top of my head and like what this shows. And honestly, just really controlling, abusive, angering parents. Because that's him. That they're like, that man. Whew. And then I read a book from Kindle Limited recommended by In Love and Words. And that is Thunder Thighs by Evie Mitchell. This is like 60 pages, so I would say like a short story novella. And this is basically about a woman who is curvier, plus size, and she has embraced this about her and, constantly talks about having thunder thighs and how she wants a god to take care of her and worship her and her body. So one day she's working at her bar that she owns, and this guy comes in that she's incredibly attracted to, like on the spot. I don't at first sight. There we go. And he's interested in her. Very clear from the beginning. Like both of them kind of keep going back and forth. They end up spending the night together, and some time after. The one thing I didn't like about this, I think it's just more just because of what I went into this expecting. This does expand on that night. It goes on weeks to months, and I believe there's two epilogues that are 5+ years later. So in my head, I thought it was going to end after the two of them had their night, but the story continued beyond that, and my interest started to dwindle the further beyond it went. So if you're interested in this book, I just want you to know that the story continues beyond that night. And if you're not interested in any of that, like, pregnancy trope, skip both of the skip both of the epilogues. And yeah, so I think that's the last thing that I've read. Yeah, that is about it. That's pretty much how my spring break and a couple of bit of days outside of spring break has gone. I do apologize for the rant. I just wanted to really just get out my thoughts and feelings about these authors' recent behavior. It's a little frustrating, and yeah, if you're interested in having a conversation about it down below in the comments, feel free to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, good night, good evening, or whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you guys in a future video. I believe there's one scheduled for Saturday, and then there's going to be one for next Wednesday. Those dates are March 12th and March 16th. Alright, bye!